What's up, gang? What we doing there? I'm gonna do a little rebuilding and chatting and stuff. Alright, let's see what I want to dive into here. You know what? I think first thing I'll do is take this Innova and Rewick it, because I think this is still, first off, this is the same wick from when I was in Florida, so it's overdue. And I think it's a little too tight in there, so I think I would have got a little better quality vape out of it if I wicked it a little better. So yeah. So I'm noticing a lot of people are doing their best ofs and of the year or whatever. Well, people have been doing that for the last couple of months, really, which is always nice. I think when I first got into vaping, it was in the fall, so by December I was getting like a lot of those kind of videos, and that's great when you're just learning about stuff, because you're getting people's opinions on what all the best products are all at once, so you know exactly what to look for. Vaping Insider, Deuces Jack, I remember loving his videos, because they had a really good presentation to them, and that's kind of like what really got me obsessing about vape gear. You don't get people like that anymore, because there's just not the same money in it, I guess. Because I don't know if he's still active on Facebook, but I don't think he does videos anymore. I mean, it's not only that we got, like, the mainstream kind of bashed vaping and demonized it, YouTube demonetizing it, but all that aside, it's the products, you know what I mean? There's just not that kind of selection of rebuildable products anymore, and I think that's what it really comes down to. Just not having that selection. But in the high-end world, there's still plenty of new shit that comes out all the time. Speaking of new shit, I came across a post today while I was tagged, an everyone tag, those on Facebook. And it was from RJ from Wick'd. He's launching a new product line or company, like a side project to Wick'd, and it just so happens that he named the company, or whatever it is, XO. Yours truly has XO in their channel name, so I thought that was interesting. And I made a note about that in the comments, and he said something like, it gave me like a wink wink, and like alluded to something about, what his inspiration was to do it. So I'm assuming it was because of me. I mean, I don't know. It would be quite a coincidence otherwise. you know, there's certain products that like there's like 10, or not 10, but like there's at least like China does this a lot. Like they'll come out with you know, one product will be called the drop, and then a whole different product's called the drop. Like the drop, okay, there's a drop Bora mod, right, by Ground Cloud, but there was also a drop RDA by Brian, what was his name, Vaping Chronicles or whatever, from Hellvape. So it's not like that name's taken, you can never use drop again. I wouldn't have named it that, though. You know what I mean? Him doing the XO thing, I don't know. I don't really care. I don't really sell anything, so, you know what I mean? It's not like I have a real brand or anything, but I thought it was weird. But whatever. I mean, I took it from, the reason I have XO in my username, if you didn't know, is I took it from a musician that I really like, Elliott Smith. He's probably like my favorite singer-songwriter type of musician. He was around in the early or mid 90s to early 2000s, and then he died. So he was only 34, which is how old I am now when he died. So he had an album called XO and a song called XO, and that's what I'm referencing in my name, basically. Now, Wick'd, what they did was they took like the iconic Wick'd panda. Here it is. They took the Wick'd panda, right, and took the eyes and made, instead of them both X's, it's like one's an X and one's an O. You know, the logo looks cool. Let's show you guys. So here's the new group. It's only 514 members so far. And the product that he's starting with is a Boro tank. Just a Boro, not an RDA. That's what it looks like. It's got like some like adjustable airflow pieces on the bottom. Like it has like a 3-hole one and then a slotted one, and it looks like they're serialized, like they have numbers on them. 62, 63. So yeah, I think it's, but then there's like these letters that he put in there. It's like, let me see. One says JKT and the other says MAL. I think that's what it says. I don't know what they stand for. I think he said, like, he alluded to it standing for like some of the other people in the company, like maybe it's their initials all thrown together or something. I don't know. So yeah, I wrote I like the name, and he said there's a reason why I named it that way with a wink face. So I don't know if I don't want to sound like you know, I don't want to go and like assume that it has anything to do with me. I'm guessing he knows my channel. I mean, I know that he knows me on Facebook, but I don't know if he watches the channel or not. I'm guessing he does. I don't know. I just don't want to get ahead of myself and assume that that's why, but it seems like quite a coincidence otherwise. So, hey, maybe he'll send me one to do a video on. You never know. Oh, I also forgot to mention, I'll throw these in a video next time, but I forgot when I did the demonstration on these boxes and wood items. You know, I said his site is Curated Coils, and he must do coils. Well, he actually sent me coils, and I was about to throw the packaging out, the box that came in, and lo and behold, these came out. So I'll have to throw these in a video soon. I used one so far. He gave me like, I think 4 of them, so they're good. But they're a little lower than I would use. I mean, it said a 0.28 plus or minus. Mine read at 3 initially. Then when I was dry firing it, 0.3. Then it, instead of bumping up when I put it in a borer, like most things do, it went down. So it did go down to 0.28. And then I tightened the flush or the integrated tip down more, and it actually went even lower, went 0.27. That's really low for me in a boro, but yeah, it works. It's not like, it's still doable. They're small. They're not like real crazy beefy coils, thank God. So like, it's not like it's like slow ramp up because of it. So it's no big deal for me. Let's see how this worked out. Wicking can feel like a chore, but at least when I'm doing a video, I'm just like on autopilot, and I just like rewick all my stuff without really thinking about it. So you guys you're helping me get through this. It becomes a chore after a while, you know. Much better. If you're wicking up something new, it's fun. You know what I mean? Or a new flavor, a new juice, a new, you know, piece of gear. But I've been rewicking the same stuff for like, I don't know, years, months. So I click next or skip. What is this? Willis? Sounds pretty good. Sounds like Dr. Dog. Maybe it's an offshoot. A little bit. Anybody ever hear of Dr. Dog, the band? I'm a big fan. I've seen them in concert a number of times. They're also from Philly. They're like a newer, it's like the Beatles but contemporary. Kind of like that. Okay, so that's one down. That's very good. I'm getting a little machiny. God, I think one more thorough clean and this would be alright. Or maybe it's the coil. I don't know. But I put a new coil in it. So I don't know what it is. Alright, what's next on the agenda? I wanted to show you something I threw together. And I'll do a video on it soon, I imagine. So I guess I'll dive right into this next thing. There was once a time, not too long ago, when I had a clone episode up, and I got a comment that was like something like, you know, would you do clone videos or buy clones on American-made products? And overall, I would say no. Like, well, let me just go right into the details. So, like, my reasoning was, you know, there's like moral, ethical reasoning. Like, I'd rather support U.S. brands, you know, just out of like a patriotism, nationalism type thing. There's that to some degree. there's, I'd say the main thing is the quality, though. Like, knowing a lot of these American brands, I at least like know for sure that they're made here just by the the, their presence on Facebook, you know, what they're willing to show you in their process of making these things. And it's a little more reassuring. At least you know what you're getting. You're not some of these other companies that are, you know, maybe say it's a brand from the Philippines or something, right? Well, you know, I don't live in the Philippines, and I don't know what they speak. Filipino? Is that a language? You know what I mean. So their stuff could be made in China for all I know, or not. I don't know. I can't say for sure. Not that hasn't happened with U.S. companies. I think it was like still not clear whether Purge did or does or did for a little bit make their stuff in China and just design it here. I know Armageddon mods, Immortal mods, they got caught up in a whole thing. Their stuff was actually made in China. Reload, 528 Customs, all these brands that people assumed were made in America weren't. Dot Mod, Cyclone, so many of these companies were presumed to be made in America and then ended up not being made in America. Or they were maybe early on and immediately shifted over, or at some point crossed the lines and became made in China. So people are still paranoid about that kind of stuff because they don't want to be paying, not that it's like, not that good stuff can't be made there, it's just you're paying a premium and it could just be like an ethical thing. Like you want stuff that's made in America because you're American and you're just trying to show some kind of patriotism in doing so, you know. America has had a rough go the last few decades, and a lot of our shit was outsourced and our jobs are all lost. So yeah, I mean, like a lot of Americans are touchy on that subject because we already fucked ourselves, or you know, like or our, you know, our owners fucked us and took all our jobs out of here, you know. So that's a big reason. But the main thing for me is the quality. Like I know American stuff that's made here they're not going to be able to duplicate it in China. BMM is the main one. I haven't had a BMM clone. I don't doubt I'll end up, not that I'm like be scared to do it. It's not a reputation thing because I've already crossed that line. You know what I mean? So I'm not really worried about that. My concern is more the quality. That I genuinely don't think that they can remake this mod to this exact way. And it needs to be this exact way because of the feel of it. It's all about the texture, and if you don't have one of these, you just don't get it. It doesn't feel like any other 3D printed mod out there, hands down. There's a number of Delrins that I have, or have had, that are good, and they vary in degrees of quality. But they're all, you know, the good ones are good. Some are a little different than others, but they're all still like good. This 3D printing is like a whole other level compared to any other 3D printed mod that I've felt. Can't get the feel from any other 3D printed mod. So that would be my main thing. And it's not just the feel, but it's the customer service. You can't get American customer service in China. You know what I mean? So my shipping will be cheaper. My communication will be more fluid. And in high end, you know what I mean? It's already a more intimate level of communication anyway between the companies and the customers. So Those are the big appeals, not like what's reputable and what's looked frowned upon. Like I'm past that point. You know what I mean? So, anyhow, so we're running this. Where's my other one? Okay, so you got your unknown original and the Unicode, and we have this Midged and the Barrett R. It's very impressive. I didn't really expect it to really. I mean, I like this already so much, but the juice capacity. It also is coming across more. I mean, I don't want to get too into it because I'll do a video on it, but it's very saturated. And I haven't tried them both with the same juice, but this is coming across more saturated to me. A fair comparison would be for me to use the same liquid. But yeah, I'm really liking this a lot. Could be that curated coil I put in there too. Very good. I think next up I'll rewick this. This is a B2K. It's an old RDA, but I've been using it at work with my crappy little Pulsex that I've kept around. It's lightweight, 3D printed, 21700, regulated. That's all I really needed. I have this giant. I mean, from how I vape now, that's a big coil, 0.19. A lot of wraps. Jackie wants a black eye. This song, I don't know if you guys can hear it. It will always remind me, sitting on my friend's porch in the city, right on the outskirts of Temple University's campus. Spring had just sprung. It was real nice out. We were I guess we all had got done our classes or whatever early. We were drinking at my friend's house. It was still daylight out and all. And I was playing this, and we were all singing it on the front porch. People are walking by, thinking we're crazy, but we're just drinking, having a good time. Simpler times. That was 2010, maybe 11. It takes so long for this to ramp up. I gotta turn this watch up just to glow it. Do you have to glow? I always wondered this. Do you really have to glow a coil that's already broken in? It's just a force of habit. Do you really only need to glow it when look, it's still crackling away. What the hell's going on? It's crackling more. Thought it was auto firing for a minute. Yeah, I mean, if your coil's already well broken in, does it matter anymore? I don't know. I'll try this again. This BP cotton. I still have a little bit left of that cotton too. And I'm just holding on to it. I just like it. I mean, I do love that this is all pre-sized. That is very convenient. Because I don't have a good method for cutting off a strip of cotton. I just kind of wing it. It never comes out right. I have some products I'd like to talk about, some newer stuff. Because I've been, as per usual, been out of the loop with what's new. But I've been coming across a couple things here and there, and I wanted to like remember them. So I think last time we talked about the new Pulse. What is it, like Pulse 3 now? Or there's at least the third version of the new Pulse AIO. It looks good. I don't like that the battery is totally exposed. I understand why he does it, because just like with this one, you can push the battery out from the other side, which is convenient. But because it's all clear, it looks kind of ugly having it like that. I don't know. It's aluminum, which is fine. The colors are decent. I like the blue one, the one green version, even the pink. I mean, I never heard this, but I like it. I'm real picky about female singers, but when I hear one I like, I'm like, okay. I'm real picky with all singers, though, I guess. See, that's one thing I don't do anymore. Like, I remember when I was younger, I had like a constant thirst for new music. And, you know, they say about older people, when you get older, you get stuck in your ways and you just revert back to whatever you really liked in the prime of your life, I guess, or I don't know. It's just harder for me to get into new music now. Or I don't have, like, you know, I used to have a lot of different friends into different things, and I could find out about new music through them, or I ended up finding a lot of the music I like through skateboarding videos. Old skate videos, anyway, not newer ones. It's all like trap music now and shit. I think I'm gonna break out this. I just killed off my bottle of the One Strawberry by Beard Vape Co. It's probably my go-to like fruit flavor. I mean, I like Sad Boy stuff a lot too, for like, you know, commercial brand fruit flavors, but something a little fancy this time. Cherry cheesecake, Coil Turrets brand. I feel a sneeze coming on. Oh my god. I've got a video coming out. Hopefully get to editing it today on the NTSU. I don't think I released that yet. I don't think so. I have a new product coming out. Not mine, but I have a new product coming in. Something I picked up yesterday. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting because I'm going to be doing... I did that poll the other day to see what you guys want more of. Whether you want to see more authentic stuff, more clone stuff, a mix of both, comparisons. I would have put more options if I could, you know, to see if you guys want more RBAs, want more RTAs, RDAs, regular mods, squonk mods, Bora mods. I don't care, you know what I mean? Just, I'm open to suggestion, you know what I mean? I mean, I'll in the end, I'll get the stuff I want to get, but I'm open to whatever you guys want to see too, you know. I was saying, like, I don't, at this point, it's not really, I don't just do this for my own purpose anymore. I mean, I did a lot of this just to, like, document my journey and show off the mods I got, but I'm not really, you know, I don't really have that mentality anymore, so I figure whatever I can get to show you guys or teach you, you know, whatever I can get more insight on different products, you know, that's pretty much the whole objective now. So whatever products they happen to be. The only things I won't touch are clones and or clones. The only thing I won't touch are disposables and pods, because they're just so boring to me. It tastes very nicky. It's got a lot of nick going on to it. It's only 3 milligram. I mean, it tastes good. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. For a minute, I was like, did he send me a 6? Whatever. The only thing is, I don't like real strong nicotine for RDAs, because you just get so much air and so much vapor all at once that it's a little much at times, you know. What else can I rewick? Some of these, like, I like to wait till it's empty before I rewick it, but I didn't time that out well. I can do this one. Oh. Little dope action. I was gonna sell this around Christmas. I'm just so desperate for money. I still am. And I was gonna sell this, the Enigma. I had everything listed. The Unknown. I just couldn't, like. One, I wanted to sell these together. I didn't want to separate them because I wanted to maximize my profit, or like get the be assured that I get both sales simultaneously to make like the money, like the number worth it. You know what I mean? And I couldn't, like, I probably could have sold it to 2 different people, and I don't know. I just said fuck it. You know, it's just money. I'll get there. But I know I won't get around to replacing those products. So, because I've said I would do that before with other stuff. Like, oh, I'll sell it now and I'll pick it back up later down the line. No, I won't. You know, because you've had it before. You know what I mean? You don't have that same drive to go out of your way and find it again. You know. It's like, what am I wasting all my time and money for getting something I already had, you know what I mean? So, better off just keeping it. And now it's like, you know, the only things that are guaranteed to sell for a semi-decent price are like the really nice stuff. So, then I'm going to lose all my really nice stuff. And then who will I be? That's how you forget your name and shit. It's like, who am I? I don't have any ions? What is my goddamn name at this point? Alright. I had off today. It's pouring rain outside. I work 2 different jobs now. I work at a liquor store, and I still do my landscaping, hardscape, property management stuff, but it's the winter time, so it's slow. So my boss is like semi-related to one of the managers at one of the local liquor beer stores. So yesterday I did both jobs, and then today it's raining and I don't have either one to do. So Figured I'd make some time to do this. I really would love to force myself to do some editing. Yeah. So we should do a you heard of 3-card Monty? Well, this is 2 dope Tony. You know, we can switch these around and see which one's the real dope and which one's the fake one. Oh shit, I don't even remember anymore. I wonder if I could do it just by looks. Well, I would like to do a video on this because there are very easy ways to distinguish between them. Yeah, there's a slight size difference, and the juice flow ports are technically a little different, and the font, like how thick the engraving is slightly different too. I think an up close video would really be a nice way to show you guys the differences. And after that, I'm probably gonna send that clone to a friend, and you know, so he could check out the dope and see what all the fuss is about. Because, you know, I don't care what anyone says, it's still the best. It is still the best RBA. And no, I have not tried every goddamn RBA out there, but because they're all the same. At this point, I mean, you can't really get, you know, it's like that's probably why people stopped making RTAs, because they made the best one of those too. I mean, you just can't, you can't really beat VWM and Unknown's stuff, you know. I got a glimpse of Ryan's video on best of stuff, and he had mentioned the Maven. He said, how did he say it? Maven? Maybe that's the way you're supposed to say it. I'm just gonna say Maven. Maven, that was really good. I didn't get to do a video on that, but I do use one here and there. It's very good. And I waited a long time to get around to trying it, but I was very surprised because it's not that big of a wicking port, but it comes across very well. It's a good mod to dry fire on. Nice husky mod. Double barrel V3. I like broke this out like just for the nostalgia, and I'm just gonna keep it out for a while. This is like Deuce's Jack should have did a collab because he was such a front runner for this mod. He loved these. That's what inspired me to get them. I'm like, it's the feel. They're so heavy, but they're so solid. Like, you know, it just has a good feel to it. There's no other mod really like it. Quite like it. Like, a top side has some similar vibe to it with the feel of it. The EH Pro Cold Steel, I have one of them. That reminds me of it slightly. I love the dope, man. I just get lucky. Like, I always feed it through perfectly, and that's the coil too. I mean, but then again, it's everything's so low on the deck. There's nothing in the way, So your hand doesn't have to fight anything. It's just like you have plenty of room for your hands to maneuver around the coil to put the cotton through. You know, there's no like giant like posts in your way or anything. You have to really analyze like what makes these things the best. You know, like what is setting it above anything. You know, I see the new Mob. That looks nice. It's kind of big, but I'm just really glad that they have Phillips head screws on them. The funny thing is, the original Mob Mini or Mob, I think it was just called at first, that had Phillips head screws. But I think they were only in gold, and there was only like 25 or 50 of them, or 75, something like that. Real limited number. They didn't have the cleanest finish on them. It was like this tacky, weird looking gold, but definitely a classic. I could have picked one up. I mean, that would, if I was just like a straight up collector still, that would have been a good one to have. I really was keen on collecting stuff for a while, and then once it really dawned on me, like high end or not, like in the end, all this stuff, it really isn't going to be worth anything except for to me, you know. Once I realized I wasn't really going to be making my money back on anything, I just figured, fuck it. You know, I don't have enough to stand on to worry about collecting shit like that. You know, I'll have all this stuff and nowhere to put it. What am I going to do? Put it in a storage facility? Like, and live in the storage facility? What's this? The Rare Occasions? Anyone ever heard of this band? I'm actually finding some cool music right now. Kind of sounds like Waves. Sounds a lot like Waves, the band Waves. Or am I thinking of the OCs? One of them. And you can beat me up. Sounds like that. I gotta like this. It has 1.6 million likes, so people know it. Some people do, anyway. I hate how, like, one of my favorite musicians, I almost have, not literally, but it's like I almost have as many subscribers on YouTube as he does. It's crazy. Nah, but for real, it doesn't have many. It's like, I don't know the exact number. It's either as low as like 4,000 or like as high as like 20,000. I don't know. Let's just say Grim Green's channel like dwarfs it, you know. So talented too. It's like, it's crazy how art just is not appreciated today. Like good art, people don't have the palette for it. They don't know like what the fuck good music is anymore because of fucking rap music. Wow, you hear that crackle? Tell me I didn't pull that wick through perfectly. That is a crackle. Hold on. That's pretty good. I'm proud of myself on that one. Wow. Sometimes I don't like it too loud though because it's like distracting. Or like if anyone's around me and they have to hear that and like I look like an asshole. If I'm in public and I start doing that, people are looking all around like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, it's supposed to be a bad storm out there. So I had off today, and I might have off tomorrow even because, see, at least in the summer, it's hot out, and the sun, and it dries up the wet ground really fast. Right now, it's like it can rain once and be wet out for days. So I don't know. We'll see. Because it would be good if I could do both jobs to like my fullest extent. Like, I think the beer place, I'm just going to do it like 3 times a week for now. Yeah, in a minute I'll get into some of those products that caught my eye. Some of those newer Bora mods and stuff out that I thought looked interesting. The one looks like, I'm sorry, but it looks identical to a 38. It looks like the spooky 38. It's the haunted 38. Yeah. It looks like Death Wish mods made a 38 special. That's the other thing about clones. Like, let's just say I get a clone D650. As much as I would love the Peak one, like I was a hair away from filling out the form for the Peak one. It was a Peak and a Frosted one. They just did it like yesterday or the day before. 25 of each. Limited edition in some way, shape, or form. I don't remember how. I would love a Peak one, right? Peak was $100 more, so it was like $600. They're like a little over that, maybe like $650. I just don't have it, bro. I would, The other thing is it said like you had to have the payment done within 3 days. If it was a week, I could have pulled it off, but I just don't have it. Not only is work slow, but it's like I gotta pay for my lawyer shit still, and it's just an ongoing thing. And I don't know. I also have a new hobby. Yeah, that was overdue for rewicking. Although this is a very clean juice for a commercial juice. Can only be nuts. It stays, it yellows a little bit, but it doesn't get gunky like a lot of other stuff. Man, I'm thirsty as hell. I took the Voltrove out. Was I using this my last live? I think I used this. I'm not like, I don't know. I don't think I like the airflow. I used to like more airy. I got into a period where I liked a lot of 4mm airflow. Now I'm kind of back down to 3mm airflow preference. So I just haven't been. I was using this for a little bit, the Hussar V1. Kind of lost interest in that now too. I'll wick this up, but I'll show you guys how I wick this again really close, because it seems like people just don't know how to wick RTAs. Like a lot of people in the groups, like I've seen comments. I mean, maybe, I'm sure they got it now, but it seemed like a lot of people were struggling with how to wick the Enigma RTA. I got that shit right away. There's only so many ways to wick something. See, I'm gonna have someone's gonna be sending, God willing, someone's gonna be sending me an authentic product of one sort, and I have my own clone of that product coming in, and we're gonna do a nice comparison between the two. This way, you guys can see the difference, and what I feel the authentic version is going to be superior in a number of ways that I look forward to showing you. The big question is, if the clone version is passable, you know, if it's somewhat decent. That's all I'm hoping for. I know they definitely can't pull off the same thing, because the internals are, you know, special on the authentic as well. Let's get to my Galleria. Okay, so it was this thing. Meow. Nice to meow you. That's all I know. I don't know if Meow is the name of the brand or the mod itself, but it's this. Tell me that doesn't just look like a 30-gate special with a control panel on it. See the cross cutout thing? Looks very Death Wish mods. There it is again. It's got these cool engravings, or I mean, I guess, I don't know. It's somewhat cool, but dude, it looks exactly like a 38, and this is the problem. Like, people don't know where to go from here. Like, all the mods just start to look the same. This was neat. I saved this one too because I thought this was really cool looking. Now, in my head, it looks just like the Little Snitch bootlegger. Looks a lot like that. I mean, not just like it, but similar enough shape. But if you notice, everything is offset. Like, this would be it standing straight. But you notice the panels, they're offset. They're not, they're a little crooked. It looks like it's still slanted. So, like, that would be straight. I don't know. They intentionally made, and if you can't tell on here, but the panels look like a really nice resin. You can kind of see it. Really nice color and texture to those panels. I don't know if that's the way it comes or if that's aftermarket to that. I'm assuming it's stock because it looks kind of new. Although, it can't be stock. I just don't know if they do it or if some other company does it. Because here's another version. Here's another shot of it with plain black. It could just be the other side for all I know. But that's a plain black version of it. And so I'm guessing that's the stock form. Oh, this is MGMT. No wonder I like it. Yeah, I really like MGMT too. Here's my new thing. Boots, bro. That's where my money's going to. Pacific Northwest boots. Don't ask me why. This is a company called Westco from the U.S. U.S. made for the last 100 years. There's probably like 4 or 5 companies left that make boots in America with American leathers. They're all leather. Let's see, my first pair is somewhere in here. I don't know what it is. Like, I watched this YouTube channel, right, called Rose Anvil. The guy cuts stuff in half. They could be Nike Air Force Ones or some fancy kind of Nikes or you know, like, look at these. These are cool. That's by a company called Wick'd. Knicks. These are the Knicks I got. I cut them. Yeah. Weird interest. But yeah, so it cuts them all in half and then you can see inside the quality. Because that's you know, they can look quality on the outside, but it's the materials on the inside, right? So here's the unknown wicking I did. So it's kind of, I said this in a comment, how someone said, oh, I want to try that method, and it's like, I don't know about a method, it's just, I keep the coil up relatively high and just kind of let it cascade down like the cotton, like a waterfall effect, and that works perfect for me. So let's do it now. Yeah, I mean, if I'm working outside all the time, may as well have the footwear for it, right? Alright, so I always take the airflow control ring off because it's just going to fall off anyway. Now, there's still a little bit too much juice in here, more than I would like, but I think it'll stay put. It's not terrible looking, but kind of bulging out there. Looks pretty full, but I assure you it kept up just fine with the wicking. It wasn't dry or anything. It takes more cotton than a lot of other RTAs that I like. Well, I guess the GT3 does too, so it's like on par with that, with how much cotton you need. Actually, the GT3 needs a lot more because it's like a well, it's a legit juice well that it goes through. Q-tips. I don't see how Coldplay has anything to do with Dr. Dog. Not that I don't. I can appreciate some Coldplay stuff, just not feeling it right now. Band called Roar. R-O-A-R. Roar. Never heard of them. Now, this I still use Can Only Be Cookie, and this is a dramatically like dirtier juice than Can Only Be Nuts for some reason. Same brand, it's just it comes down to a sweetener, I guess, or so what other, I mean, so I got this mod, right? And the only other thing I had interest in that is similar is the Raga. So I could have went with that, but exposed battery. I mean, all these, whether you get a clone or not, so many of these Chinese companies are stealing the designs. I mean, almost piece for piece as these high-end mods. So, I mean, how different does it have to be for it to not be a clone? I mean, heavily inspired. It's basically cloning, you know. And it's becoming more and more of that, heavily inspired. I mean, people are just running out of ideas, but they still keep chasing the, you know, they just got to keep pumping out products. And as long as people will still buy them, they're not going to bother trying to be inventive. So, oh God, this guy got a Palm Plus from Jay Hayes, the white Delrin one. I asked Jay Hayes about it through a message, and he gave me like an ambiguous. I said how much, and he was just like, "I'm only doing offers." So it's like, oh my God, just cut to the chase. Give me a ballpark number. So I didn't want to entertain the whole thing because, you know, imagine if I did that with I don't know. It's just like, I didn't want to do a whole back and forth with that. So I just let it go. And somebody else just got it, and then they just listed it for sale for, I think he said he bought it for $350, and now he was trying to sell it for $330, and now he just has it for $300. So problem is he has technically the V1, which has a fixed 510. They're really nice Palm Pluses. They have a nice little recess 510, but it's fixed. It's not a manual adjusted pin. So more often than not, what happens is you go to put on an atomizer with a beauty ring, and there'll be a gap, or the pin's not long enough and it won't read, and you can't use the beauty ring. And they never work out. So apparently you can have Bill, you know, augment something to make it a manual pin without it being too much of a hassle, but just having to do anything else with it is a hassle to me. So it's like, I want one, but shit. Something to use with my Narda that sits there. I mean, BMM has that new Squonk mod, so I would just wait for that, probably. What's the other thing? Oh yeah, the new BMM Spring Master List was just released. I now have 4 entries on it, because I've never won anything through BMM. So, probably pretty close. Couldn't have been worse timing, because I'm just so broke all the time. Yeah, I'm tired of having jobs where my pay changes depending on the season. It's no fun. It's no good. Oh, let me show you this one more time. Very finely done. Hopefully that's enough. It looks kind of thin on this side. But yeah, that's an elegant little throw down there. A little Rewick. I really wish I had a smaller pin. 3mm pin would be great for this. Or 3.5. I wonder if we'll ever see a clone Enigma, because he only makes so many of them. I feel like he's trying to keep it very... I mean, I'm sure there will be, it's just a matter of when. I didn't expect the clone Midg to come out so soon. It took a little while for the unknown OG one, but the Midg happened pretty quick. Although I know they made a lot more of them, so. That's the thing, is for as rare as they are, there's a lot of different kinds of unknown RBAs out now, so they're not as hard to get as you would think. I mean, whereas the dope, I mean, there's only what, 12, something like 800 to maybe like 12 or 1600 of them in existence. So, and that was from, you know, a year or two ago. So it's like, and that's all there's going to be. No variation of it or anything like that. So it's a very finite number. And when you have people that have the greed to say, I need 20 38s with 20 dopes and 10 bow rats with 10 unknowns, I mean, you're losing numbers that quickly. People want to hold on to them. So the other day I just seen a dope sell for more than RRP. It's probably like the only, other than anything unknown, there's no chance any other RBAs are selling for over RRP at this point. So it says a lot about the quality of it and the rarity of it. So, VWM is like that only company that could still get more money out of it. These go together well. I'm not that big of a side-by-side person, but this is just so compact, and the contours of it, I forget that it's not a Bora mod sometimes. Like, I know it's technically an AIO, but like, sometimes I really think this is a Bora mod. I still got a couple more to go, but I may just do like another one or two for camera. I'm trying to think of some other shit I could talk about. Like what other companies are doing. You know, admittedly, I'm out of the loop. Oh, there's a control RBA. I think I mentioned that before. I don't think they're like readily available like that yet. Here's a Monarchy Locust 525 shipped. Now, would you still, to this day, costing that much money? Or I could get this for $100 or whatever it was. I mean, at this point, I just couldn't justify it. I mean, if I didn't have any good mods, I may be interested in something like that, but at this point, no way. Oh, look, the Unifico. Oh, no, that's a Unific. I'm confused. That has to be something different. It's a GTR. I'm looking at this thinking, how did he get that GT3 in that Unific? I think it's a small. I thought all Typhoon stuff was 23 or 25 millimeter. Here's one that does nothing for me. The Q-Bot. And it's because of his print quality. It looks like sandpaper. I mean, I know they're great, well-made mods and all, but here's something cheap. Not cheap, but a good price. I've never seen one this low. Jason Burkett with a Midg for 150 shipped with an extra cap. So even they cannot hold numbers, hold value or whatever. Because there's already newer versions, you know, the Nero. Here's Nate Tiller with that, I showed you guys this before, the Wick'd mod. 420 shipped. Oh my god, I know this guy, Paul, right? I hate to put him on the spot like this. He spends absurd amounts of money on this stuff. So look, he's got these, I think there's only 4 of them ever made, right? And he's got 2 of them. It's the Peak Monarchy D650s. And I think he said they were like $3,000 a piece, or between 3 and 4, which is astronomical to me. I mean, and then look, he paired it with a regular D60 in the back. That's also Peak Monarchy. Oh yeah, tons of RJ panels too, like, which we all know they are not cheap. So yeah, you could spend $1 million on this crap. That's all I am. Oh wow, here's Roger. You don't see him around too much. Trummenschlager or whatever. I think this is the Illumide Ion 375 plus shipping. I love to look, but I hate looking too. Oh wow, the original. Someone laughed. It's better without them. Yeah, here's the Mission Karma. He sold it for $20, but no packaging or anything. That's a collector's type piece. I had one, I sold it for like $75, I think. That was like a few months ago. Oh yeah, these Franken skulls. This guy has listed this for $1,250,000. Look at it, it's just an orange fucking mechanical squonk mod. Like, who gives a shit? I can't believe stuff like that can still, or people think it's gonna sell for that, or some people do, though. They do pay for that shit. It's insane. See, this is what I'm talking about. Whites, Franks, Nicks, Westco boots. See all that leather? That's my new thing now, guys. I'm turned into a boot head. It's so random. I mean, my interests changed. I held on to this for quite some time, though. But yeah, my interests are definitely changing here. Oh, look at this. There's the new Protocol K-Bron or whatever. K-Bron X. Coloring is great. It has like that antique look, spray paint look too. Oh yeah, the new Submarine. Ryan did a video, and so did Mark Todd. It looks like it's made in China, dude. I swear to God. I wouldn't put it past it, because the clone the Casperdina pretty quickly. The Casperdina also had, yes, so the clones of the Casperdina, right? They had the black, they had the matte, media blasted satin or whatever. But they did not have the polished stainless steel version. Only the authentic did, which is what I had. Now this, right, is only in satin. They only have the media blasted version. And everybody knows from watching like Jay Hayes or whatever, like it hides the quality or lack thereof of a type of metal that's used. So could it be made in China? Also, why does it have those? I think the RTAs had it too, like that recycling logo and the CE or whatever. I made a joke comment about it, like, "Whoa, nice new logos." You know what I mean? Like, Wick'd and Mission 15 should take some marketing notes. You know what I mean? But it's just like you're gonna put that right on the RBA. I mean, it's so small. There's no room for that. You know what I mean? What if someone gets a scratch on the one side? Now they're stuck with that on the other side. I don't know. It's just there's no room for that. There's no need for it. Like, it's a small product. It's not this big mass. You know, it shouldn't be this big mass-produced thing to worry about technical. You know, I don't know, any of that bureaucratic bullshit policy crap. You know what I'm saying? So I just can't believe they did that, unless, you know, all the China products have that stuff. It's kind of weird. No, I would not put it past that guy designing that stuff. It's just, you know, I just play the devil's advocate here. I'm really not making any hard accusations. It's just like me, like, I'm very critical now, you know, very, always weary and speculating on these companies and their legitimacy and making them in the country of their origin, whether they really do it or not, you know. Yeah. I remember Unknown coming out, I asked Roz right away, I'm like, okay, it's made in America, where? You know what I mean? I asked him a hard question the other day, too. I was like, I want to know exactly how many Enigmas there are. I'm pretty sure he said, like, around 800. Or was it around 500? Shit. I can't remember. I think he said around 500. But, yeah, I mean, he told me in Florida, which is where he lives, which makes sense. I mean, from what I hear, it's a local machine shop that does the Unknown stuff, so. Very, yeah, I mean, if you're American, you can get a machine shop to make these atomizers. You could do pretty good, I would think. Because everybody wants American-made stuff. There's just not as much of it. I mean, there's plenty of American mods, but not atomizers. Why is it like that? I don't know. Don't know why there's that separation. So yeah, man. I don't even know what else to talk about, actually. I still gotta rewick my OG titanium mob mini. My hammer. RBA. I don't know if I'm gonna rewick the Netsu or NTSU or whatever, or I think I might just rewick this instead. Bridged V2 plus or 1.2 plus. I'm getting a little rewicked out too. We've been doing this for an hour and 20. Look, I'm not getting contact on this. I have to find something else to screw it into. See, the Squevo is manual. 510. And that's the way all squonks should be. Because you got to match up the pin length on a squonk more than anything else. Yeah, I mean, I guess this isn't burning evenly. So, to answer my earlier question, yeah, you probably should strum, probably should re-strum it. Man, I'm getting kind of thirsty and shit. I think this is going to be my last one here. This might be too thin. That'll work. So, yeah, I mean, there was that sand. I don't know. Like I've gone through this before, all the cheaper mods that have come out recently, but the more niche things that have come out, I just don't keep up with them. Some of them look pretty good, but like a lot of RDAs went under my, flew under the radar for me. The Chucky one actually looked pretty good, or not Chucky, Voodoo, whatever they did. And I'm usually pretty critical of their stuff. Because I had their original RBA and I did not like it very much. I had a lot of products that I never got to do videos for. A lot of like authentic, high-end stuff. That's why I started doing videos, because I had all these products that had no content on them, and I'm just like, damn, like, I should be putting some of this stuff out there. And then by the time I did, I got rid of a lot of it. So now that I have the gear, the film gear, and the subscribe count, now I'm not doing nothing. It's just, things always work out that way. But you never know. There'll come a day when I might get back into this shit more. I'm all about learning new stuff. There's just nothing. There's not much more to learn. I want to see new designs, not just like. It's not just about the aesthetics and making something look pretty or interesting. It's about like the design work too. If they could just come out with a whole new concept, like reinvent the AIO, reinvent the atomizer in a whole new way, I mean, that would be something. But these days, it's all just a recycling of what's already out there. Sorry to throw on a negative spin there, but I liked what Martel was doing with showing all of his old stuff. That he didn't remember the names for a lot of it. Because, you know, a lot of that stuff came up before I even started, and because it's high end, a lot of it's very niche to begin with. So if it's also before your time of vaping, you're definitely not going to have heard of a lot of it. So it was a good bit to learn about, you know. Whether it's new or old, if you never heard of it, it's new. I like that quote. I should copyright that. I should publish it. Whether it's new or old, if you haven't heard of it, it's new. Or if you're just hearing about it, it's new. I don't know how to say it like flowy, but yeah. Got my OG unknown. Yeah, so it's like, I don't know, 3 millimeters off the top. Pretty impressive. Oh, I should have tried that. It probably wouldn't work. Putting the Midg cap on the unknown, because the unknown OG, it's like a step up thing. I think it sits up higher. I don't think it would work. I think actually I want to save that, what I'm about to say for the video. Instead of doing this live, I should have did a lot of editing. That's what I should have did. If I can get like something edited today and like maybe one more thing filmed, I'd be pretty happy with the outcome of my day. I could never relax. I always feel like I'm wasting time or not doing enough of my time, and then I end up wasting more time. It's terrible. Alright, so see how this goes. Sure it'll. That's the benefit of reusing the same tanks, with the same juices, with the same boros, with the same mods. Your connection is much more reliable, you know. When you're constantly swapping out different boros and RBAs and mods, like with different drip tips, it's a little more of a gamble whether your connection is going to be on point or not. You know, it seemed like it was always like a 50-50. But once you're used to the same products, like 9 times out of 10, it's going to work. And it works. Although I need a new battery desperately. I keep forgetting to take this battery out. It's been, you know, something I've put off like for like, it feels like a couple days. I like all this weird indie stuff I never heard of. It's different. Keeps things interesting. This is like just as good as Spotify, basically. Just YouTube. This sounds just like the Smiths. Not anymore. I like this. quirky, you know. This band's just called The Drums, and the song's called Money. Very bass heavy, so it's very much like the Smiths for some reason. Alright, I don't know what to put in my 38. I could put the Killick back in there. I was gonna do this, maybe. Do they match? Do they look weird together? These colors? These colors look so bad on this computer, but they don't look that bad in person. I mean, I could do that. I don't know, I think I might go back to this. Alright, I'm gonna put some Basic B in this Kill Lab and be on my way, so maybe watch a movie or some more boot stuff. Those boots are crazy expensive too. They're like between like $600 and $800 a pair. $500, and if you get them used, they're a lot cheaper though. But they're hard to find, and it's just like the high-end vape game basically, but with boots. It's very similar. The Facebook groups, or you know, I'm not all that invested in it yet, but it's kind of drawing me in. Any of you know any of those brands? White Snicks, or Wesco, or JK, or Drew's, Red Wing, Thorogood, Thursdays, what's the other one I'm forgetting? Begins with a V. I always mix it up with, because Vibram is the name of the company that makes all the soles for them, the outsoles. Damn, what is the company I'm thinking of? Oh my god, I can't remember. They're English. They use day-night soles. It's called... Ah, you son of a bitch. I can't remember. I'm gonna have to look it up. Byberg. That's it. They're more dress-oriented. I like the work casual style of these boots I'm talking about. But here we go. Here's some Dr. Dog. Some of the newer stuff I don't know that well. You know, I was real into them like early 2000s to like 2013. Yeah, I was such a happy person, like, before I got into drugs. Very motivated person. A lot of interests. This is the last band I really remember, like, before things went bad in my life. Like, alright, oh yeah, what did they just do with the FDA? They got like denied something. They got bitched at for having all those people do PMTAs and then arbitrarily just denying them. Who's the backlash from? The Supreme Court? I can't. I've seen it, you know, seen it in passing. I just didn't get all the facts. I also seen how there's the new DNA chip out from Evolve. It's a DNA 60, but you know you have right now you have two kinds of DNA 60 chips. You have this kind. This is the original one, the DNA 60 small screen, and this one, the DNA 60 large screen. Oh my God! But now there's a DNA 60C. The C is just like the C on this. DNA 75C. C being color. So it's a color screen, but it's a DNA 60, and it's basically, pretty sure it's like the same size, it's just not a little bigger than the DNA 60 large screen. So what does it really do? What does it really mean? How much better is it? I don't know. I'm sure the specs are a little better. I mean, they have to have more reason to release it than just like, ooh, color, custom themes, you know. But that is a big part of it too. But yeah, I'm sure it'll be interesting. And it'll be a DNA. I'm sure it'll be a Type C. So that'll make it Type C standard for DNA 60s. And they already have that on some of them, but it's not the standard, I don't think, so. I think I made this a little too tight. Alright, I pulled some out, and I think it's a good tension now. Alright, folks. I guess I bored you long enough. I will bid you all adieu. Yeah, man, I just wish I had more time to do stuff like this, and music stuff, and more video work, you know, both personal and professional, and, you know, I'm fixing to be stuck at work at one job or another more and more all the time, so. It's funny, years ago, I'd be able to just have one job and have a 2-car garage and a family of 4 and live comfortably. But, you know, now you can't even live a decent life with 2 jobs, so.
in a recess. Okay, I have a few questions. Oh, cool. That clears it up next.
Alright, that was quite a haircut on this. Yeah, I've been finally learning to... I still don't have it down yet, but putting less cotton in the kill lab, just trying to get it down to a point where I don't need that much of it to get the fastest feeding juice to it. Looking good. Okay, I'll see you. Thanks for coming by, and until next time, I should have some more content for you soon. Take care.